Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the day shift. I'm Paulette. Welcome to everybody who is joining us here. In this particular community, we are all neighbors, so jump on in and let's get together. Hey, Camp Gam Gam. Hey, Cecilia, come on in. We're getting ready to have a sit down. If you are not familiar with who I am, I'm Paulette. I'm the owner and founder of BrownstoneWorldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, as well as Brownstone Living Magazine. Okay, how's that? I am super excited to let you guys know that Brownstone, hey, Suma Joe, how are you? Brownstone Living Magazine for the month of June has the cover drops today. The actual magazine drops tomorrow. And we have the one and only TJ Mercer, founder of Move-In Day Mafia, on the cover. For those of you all who are not familiar with who TJ Mercer is, she is from the entertainment industry. She was in the entertainment industry for like 10, 15, 20 years. One of her besties is Sherri Shepherd of the Sherri Shepherd Show. She was actually on the Sherri Shepherd Show being interviewed. And some of our people was in the audience. So big shout out to all of the people that were part of it. I am one of the Mafia members, Move-In Day Mafia. And so she is on the cover because we have a huge fundraiser that is coming up for students. We're going to be talking about that today. The interview with TJ, you guys will be able to watch on Brownstone Worldwide's YouTube channel beginning tomorrow. Also, when the magazine drops tomorrow, guess what? When you open the digital version of the magazine, you'll actually be able to see the interview with myself and TJ in there. What is Move-In Day Mafia? Let me explain. Move-In Day Mafia is literally a program for students who are going on to HBCUs, and we stay with those students for the full 4 years. They need housing, they need things for their dorms. We help them to prepare for that and get our nice little boxes and stuff together for them. And so it's a really, really, really great cause. This year we're doing a bingo, a live bingo program in July, and the host is none other than Miss Sherri Shepherd of the Sherri Shepherd Show. So we're really excited about that. Of course, she's on this month's cover. Hello, let's talk about that. I'll share the cover with you guys a little bit later on today on my timelines. So you can take a look at it for yourself and what is in there. What else are we talking about in the month of June? In Brownstone Living Magazine, we're talking about Juneteenth. Of course, you know we are. Okay. We're also going to be talking about, thank you, Deals with Nia. We're also going to be talking about Father's Day. The article is actually called He Showed Up. We have some foodies who sent in their recipes. So they showed us some love and actually used brownstone blends. Yeah, I forgot about that. We have spices, brownstone blends. And big shout out to Marshano Lania. We also have Leanne Dose, Dr. Michelle Josie. These are regulars. And then the cutest little girls from YouTube Sensations, Little Miss Travelers, have a segment in Brownstone Living Magazine. And they submitted more content. They went to Ghana and they're talking about it in this month's issue. Okay. And Little Miss Travelers, they're literally two little girls that are traveling with their parents, who are pharmacists, who left their jobs as pharmacists, and they take their kids on these amazing trips. And so they share their trips with the Brownstone neighbors. It's really, really cute. So you guys will get an opportunity to see that as well. All right, now let's jump right into news and information that you can use. If you are not familiar with what is going on, y'all, before we start talking about the juicy stuff, because I got some juicy stuff. I know y'all been paying attention. Juicy. Let's talk about this. Number one, China is not feeling the angst of the tariffs. Did you all know this? A young lady was on social media and she shared living in China. She's lived over here in the States, but she's living in China. And guess what? Guess what, folks? They're not feeling it. She gave an example of purchasing beef. 13% of their products come from the U.S. They said, oh, okay, hold my beer, because guess what? We've been around for 5,000 years. We're going to be all right, like Kendrick Lamar said. Let me tell you what they did. They went on ahead and they built relationships with other countries, and that's where they're getting their products from. So let's talk about that. The beef industry is probably going to take a hit because they used to get their beef from us. How's that? How's that? No, they don't. They don't, because the products that we have in this country, first of all, we don't produce much anymore. We do and we don't, right? But the very same things that we are producing in this country, other countries have the same thing. And they just said, oh, okay, yeah, our beef prices have increased. My daughter bought a pound of beef, y'all. And y'all know a pound of beef doesn't even really do much justice. So she bought a pound of beef the other day. And I was with her. And she was like, Mama, I don't know about this. This is high. A pound of beef, $8 and some change. And this is at the local grocery around the corner from my house. This is not like a Walmart or like a Trader Joe's or anything like that. It is literally around $8 for a pound of one, not five, a pound. So we're definitely seeing it. We're definitely seeing it, because if they're not able to import some of that beef to other countries, because the other countries are like, you know what, we're not playing with the U.S. Y'all can play with yourself, but we're not going to jump in there with you. Those farmers who have beef as their main money supply or main money source, they have to do something with that, right? So what are they having to do? They literally have to raise the rate so that they can keep up. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I wasn't surprised by that. I was just like, wow. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing. Okay. And it's okay, because we kind of put ourselves in that predicament, because somehow he got voted in, right? And we're living with that. We have to, because this is where we are. And guess what else? Who's going to stop it? He hasn't been stopped yet. The tariffs just made it so no one wants things from the U.S. and the rest of the world is together. Exactly. No man is an island. No man is an island. And we thought, not we, but you know what I mean, America thought that they were going to be able to do what? Live without the rest of the world, because we think that we're this massive superpower? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yep. Yep. I think we already are an island because when we look at what Mexico and China has done by surpassing or bypassing the Panama Canal. See, we don't want to talk about that, but let's talk about it. I got time today. I really, really do. I have to about 1:45. Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm just start sitting here because I got time. Right. And now we're about to pay the price. But this is what they wanted. So Shonda, I'm curious, do you think that they thought this through? I'm just asking collectively. Do you think that they thought this through? I agree, Robbie. If we don't stop him, it will get worse. So here's a question. Number one, do you think that they thought this through? Do you think that they cared? Yep, they did a boss move. They're making their own canal and their own port and railway system. Oh, baby, listen, the Panama Canal Challenge has already started. So I'm on Newsroom Panama. And so the Mexican government is planning to build a railway corridor to compete with the Panama Canal. Mm-hmm. You know what that's going to do to the maritime industry? If they do that. Yeah. All right. Now, so what Mexico and China did, the first thing that they did in this game of chess was, yep, in a boss move, yeah, it's supposed to say 5 days. This is about revenge on the United States people. It is. But here's the other thing. It's also about commerce because one monkey don't stop no show. Now, if we take it and we look at it in this man's mind and in the minds of those people that think that America is it, they thought that they could bully these people. And these people say, you know what? Hold on. Let me hang up the phone on you. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to call my homeboys over here in China. And we're going to sit down at the table and we're going to make it do what it do. Because we really don't need them. We really don't. Because they don't really produce anything anymore anyway. So let's just go ahead and let's see how we can all work together and do what we need to do together as countries so that everybody benefits. How's that? Let's do that. While people are literally who were born in this country finding ways to go to other countries to live. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely about revenge. So it is not surprising to me that Mexico and China are working together to create their own canal. It absolutely is, Robbie. I 100% agree with you. It is unfortunate, but this is where we are. So they want this high speed railway, and they're going to do it. They're going to absolutely take care of it. So they're going to make it happen. I understand that there have been some hiccups. However, I bet you any money they figure them out. I bet you that. They're unbothered because logistics takes time. And it's unfortunate, but America will, if we are not already, we're probably already feeling it. Because again, like you said, and like I just said, I was at the grocery store with my daughter. She bought a pound of beef. It was $8. She's like, I'm not, nope. Huh? We'll be vegan shortly. Hey, Ducky May, how are you? Hey, Kareem. What did I say in the beginning of the year? Get your papers together. Oh, you, and you've been saying that, Kayshawn. You've been saying get your papers together. Just like I say, get your coffee together, get your vitamins, do whatever you need to do. But Robbie, do you think it's hurting us yet? I think it is. I think it is. For some of us, we are absolutely pick a country, do the research, and move accordingly. I agree. Mm-hmm. And this is just the beginning, because you got to think also, when you're cutting all of these federal employees, I want to go here just for a moment, cutting federal employees. So the unemployment rate is through the roof right now. And the sad part is the majority of the people that were let go from these good government jobs that we were told to get when we were kids were Black women. We are the most unemployed racial group at this point in this country. Doesn't surprise me though. Absolutely. And I had to turn off my television when I saw it, Robbie. It ain't you, Super Dave? Absolutely. Super Dave said the man said he was going to make us rich, but he didn't say who else was, and it ain't me. Not at all. And they don't want it to be diverse. They don't want it to be. That's not what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make America great again. How many of you all are familiar with the television show Mad Men? I'll go one further, and I don't like the television show. You ever seen The Handmaid's Tale? I recall television shows like Leave It to Beaver. I recall television shows like My Three Sons. What was the other one? The Andy Griffith Show and things of that nature. So when you are watching these TV shows, that's what they mean. You saw one kind of person, white. You saw the fence in front of the house. Yep, Leave It to Beaver. You saw mom at home with the string of pearls. My children and I were talking about that book. And I told my daughter, she loves to do audiobooks. So I told her to go ahead and download it. Using your what kind of app? What app do we use here in the Brownstone as neighbors? We use our library app, folks. That's what we use. Yep, the little white picket fence. There may or may not be a dog. Everybody in the community wears heels and pearls to go and to grocery shop and so forth, right? And you don't see a white person, a brown person, or whatever. Nobody else exists. This is the world that they see in their mind. That's what they want. And they don't care that other people are not a part of that. And I'll go one further. They want white women at home having babies and nothing else. Good times, the Jeffersons, what's happening in Sanford and Son. Yeah, but that's on the other side of the railroad tracks, though, Todd. That's not the America that they want at all. They don't want that. I know what they mean when they say you have violated civil rights. Let's talk about Linda McMahon today. I was just watching her hearing on Associated Press. Your MAGA friends are threatened by all the brown people. He told me that, and he's a tough guy. What? Threatened by what? Y'all, this is how they won. Outside of the fact that now there's real, true, hardcore evidence that the contest, I'm gonna start calling it the contest was rigged. He always tells me to move back to Mexico. See, that's a bunch of bull. Oh yeah, they're so, and I hate to hear that these people feel threatened. How are you threatened? You know what's really sad? The people that feel threatened by the people that are brown, black and brown, or yellow or purple or trans or whatever, LGBTQIA, whatever. Just about all of us are in the same tax bracket or below. Most of us have a college education or not. Some of us have trades. Some of us are stay-at-home parents. Some of us are doing the best that we can to get by. But we're worried about black and brown people, and we're threatened by them. And I'm confused. Because everybody that is talking to me right now, be it through TikTok or through Facebook or through YouTube or through Twitch, you guys, every last one of us has bills to pay. We have food. We have to eat. We have to take care of our health. We have to take care of our families, whether you have them or you are your own family. You have to have a life. You have to take care of yourself in the whole scheme of it all. Why are we different? How are we different outside of the fact that my family comes from descendants of, my family is from slaves. And when I say that, you already know we came over to this country against our will, but 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, we came here with a skill, or else they wouldn't have went to go pick us up, right? We ever think about that? But we sit back and we think about that. One family may be from over here, another family may be from over here, but at the end of the day, we live in the United States of America, and we should be representing the US of A in a positive light. And right now, it ain't looking too good. It ain't looking too good. It is. It's about the neighbor. That's why everyone here who becomes a part of the Brownstone community, your neighbors. Because regardless of where you are, if I never meet you, if we never physically see each other, we're neighbors. We live in a country where each one of us is trying to live what we were told was the American dream. Whatever that is for you. And it confuses me that people are angry because we want to teach our history as well. I'm confused. Or Native American history, or Latin American history, or how about just history overall, American history? We want to hide it. You missed your train? Hey, Clayton. I'm baffled. And I've heard this one. So I heard somebody say that was from Florida. They don't want the stories told because they don't want the white children to be ashamed. What? Whatever do you mean? Miggy says they're scared. Reason why they want to lower the legal working age and extend hours. It's absolutely, why say slavery instead of forced-free labor? I don't understand. Black and Native history is, it is. It's absolutely, it is. They're doing the same thing in Texas. Honey, did you see the new laws that they done passed? No more THC, no more, it's all illegal. So what about the 8,000 stores and the tax dollars that they got from it? No more toys for your personal bedroom. That's illegal now. So if I get mad at you, then I can call the police and say, hey, they cheated on me. Guess what they got in their bedroom? Like, what's that about? Why do you care what I do in my bedroom? It doesn't impact you. It doesn't hurt you. We are so twisted. So twisted. Anyway, I promise you, this is like a legit thing. For real. So Panama Canal, they're looking to bypass it. They've already started from what did you see the numbers on HIV and AIDS? I have not yet. Y'all, when I tell y'all the news comes to me like this all day long and I try, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 computers right here where I'm sitting right now, plus a large screen TV. And I sit here and I watch, and I'm like this all day. If I'm not doing that, then I'm doing something in the community. Yes, I'm overstimulated. Yes, Robbie. I try. I promise you, I try. I sit here and I say, what I'm learning how to do is touch on news portions whenever I go live. And then I want to talk about something that is impactful, like these resumes. Let's talk about Brian McKnight. You know, his son passed away. His son, Nico, passed away. And you know, he has been estranged from his I am not, Todd. I am not. Yeah, he passed away. You know, let me explain that when you ask, am I Christian? Number one, I grew up in a Baptist household. Let me give you a little backstory. All that history is just a story. I'm confused, sir. Please explain. You know what, Miggy? I cannot with you. Who is having tacos for lunch? Not me. Not today. So I grew up in a Baptist household. Then, I'm sorry to hear that, Carla. So real quick before we go back to that, because I want to answer this, because I see where you may be trying to go, and I could be wrong. So I had an enlightening experience very, very young. And it felt cult-like to me. And so I got out of it as quickly as I could. And then, like the other young man that does the news, and then Wig and his cabinet of combs, I had an NDE, a near-death experience, and I walked away from the church. I have not been the same since. Is he not funny, Carla? He is hilarious. So I haven't been the same since. No, I am not Christian. Why? Because Christians, or to be Christian or Christ-like, means that I am exactly all the things that Jesus said that he could do, we could do also. Okay. But you know what? The reason why I'm not Christian, I couldn't turn the other cheek and let you hit me upside the head again. Right. It's very personal. So I don't profess to be Christian. And my family has a history of hoodoo. And do I know it? Yes. Is it real? Absolutely. And I will not walk away from that African history. You see, right. I'm all out of cheeks. I'm not turning. No, I'm not there. That's perfection to me, right? And that's actually a name that they gave the people who followed Jesus or Yeshua. So that's something I don't profess to be, because child, I ain't perfect. No. I'll practice that the rest of my life, but I can't be that. And like I said, I walked away from formal religion because of the experience that I had when I had my NDE, near-death experience. We do not die. I should do like a whole series on that experience. It was off the chain. Hey, Coco, how are you? Now, Brian McKnight, his son passed away at 32. Exactly. I lived to be a good person. He would, because if he showed up tomorrow, he would deport Jesus. But you know what? All of these people represent Jesus. These people are here because the majority of them, 90% of them, maybe 95, maybe even 97% of these people are here because they want to live a better life. 97% of these people came here because they were running from persecution, political persecution. They want to be safe. They understand and believe in the power of the American dream. That's why they're here. We talked about this before on this particular broadcast, where we are talking about how long the immigration process is to become an American citizen is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. So when somebody comes here to this country, it shouldn't take them 18 months. They got to wait for this. Then they got to wait another 5 years for this. And in between that, they're not sitting on a shelf like elves. They are living. And in that living, people fall in love. They meet family and friends, and they have families and children, and they create entire lives for themselves. And then you all are literally picking people up at their court hearings, doing what you said for them to do, and you picking them up at their court hearings. 1 to 2 years paying taxes deserves auto residency at the least. You pay taxes on some stuff you won't ever benefit from, Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid. The lie that people tell that these folks are getting, and I don't care if you're black, brown, white, whatever, if you are an illegal immigrant or you are an immigrant, period, you're paying into the system you can't benefit from. Now, there are programs like if you're in protected status, you'll get that little card that'll have like a little amount of money on or whatever. I know a family that I helped out one time. They were from, I want to say they were from the Ukraine. I think broke. Husband couldn't speak English. He was really, really struggling. She knew a little bit. They had 3 babies and she was pregnant again. And I remember helping them. Yeah. So R&B singer Brian McKnight's estranged son, Nico, passed away at age 32. He was battling cancer for over a year. His name was Cole Nicholas, but they called him Nico. He was trying to rekindle a relationship with his dad before he passed away. And from what I'm understanding, dad was like, nah. Can I put this out here? I'm going to say this. I always thought, and this is how I was raised, that if you deal with a man that doesn't fool with his kids, you need to leave him alone because he ain't no good. You don't fool with your own children, no matter what's going on. That tells me everything I need to know about you as a person. And that says a lot about you as a woman and as a mother, as a parent yourself. You allowed this man to do everything that he did, from naming your son that you have with him, Brian McKnight Jr., when you already had a junior. You allowed that. And here's the thing. She's no dum-dum. Isn't she like a neurologist or some like she's a medical professional? So she's no dum-dum. And you allowed that. You allowed him to come in and to pick up your children and to forego his own. And like I said, I was always taught that you do not deal with the man. If he had children and he wasn't seeing about his own kids, you don't fool with that person. He ain't no good. But cheers to you, ma'am. Mm-hmm. But his uncle, who you got to catch Claude McKnight's lives sometimes. Claude comes on and he sings at night sometimes. Yep, farm workers all gone. Citizens don't want to work these jobs. They can't handle the labor. No, they can't, Miggy. So I just wanted to kind of touch base on that. He hasn't commented publicly about the death of his son, but he has been estranged. And see, as a parent, as a grown man, you ought to be like, you know what? I need to fix this. You're the parent. You're the parent. You see what I mean? So if you're the parent, what are you doing? I don't understand. And like I said, I couldn't be a woman in that situation, and I'm married to you, or we have a lifelong relationship or whatever, and then you just make a decision that you are just going to do what? Nothing. For your own children that were here before I come along? Nope. I'm not going to be able to do it. So, all the way gone. She is too, though. She is not off the hook because she's allowing it. Yep. So let's talk about what I talked about on Substack this morning. Y'all, sometimes whenever I'm not live, I'll post like snippets of news from brownstoneworldwide.com. You can always go over there and catch news. So do keep that in mind, because sometimes I'm in these streets and I don't do the news. You know, Aaron Partners, love the dude. He literally eats, breathes. I want to be like him when I grow up. Nah, he's doing it on a whole different level. I'll get there one day. So let me tell you what Meta's doing. So Meta, I just learned from a friend of mine who's working on a project now here in Atlanta. Meta has built a $12 billion facility for AI in Gwinnett County. He may. Yep. So what Meta did as AI demands skyrocket, Meta has inked a 20-year agreement to source energy from the Clinton nuclear plant in Illinois. That's going to start in 2027. The plant's operator, which is Constellation Energy, has even secured federal approval to build a second reactor. That's not all. They're planning to revive 3 Mile Island and sell power to Microsoft. Nuclear energy is back in Silicon Valley's good graces. But I do know that they're just, so he just did the wiring. That's how I found out about it. He was like, yo, I just finished this project, blah, blah, blah. He's a contractor. I just finished the wiring for all of the technical stuff that's going to be in the facility. $12 billion project. Meta, right here, Gwinnett County. So if you're in the Atlanta area, start looking up Meta jobs here, because they're here. Meta's here, actually. Microsoft is here. Google is here. They're all in downtown Atlanta. If you don't mind that traffic, or if you don't mind taking MARTA, by all means. Klarna has a new debit card. Where's all that nuclear waste going? You know what? That's why I believe it's in Gwinnett County, because just like where I live in Spalding, there's a lot of rural areas that are still rural, if that makes sense. Because it almost wouldn't make sense, because you see what's happening to Boomtown in Memphis, where this man has 33 gas turbine engines that are fueling what's the name of his Musk. How many of you all are familiar with that? Have you heard about what this guy is doing, what Elon Musk is doing in Memphis, and how he's not being held accountable? Yep, Kayshawn, you said it right. Grok. Yes. Grok. And we talked about that a couple, I think 2 weeks ago or so, we talked about that. I try my best to stay on top of stuff like that, because a lot of people aren't talking about it. Boxtown, thank you, not Boomtown. Boxtown. Yeah, he's poisoning the community. Absolutely. I did a Substack on it. Hold on. One here you go. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but what I would like to do is take a look at what I said, because honestly, when I heard about it, I started digging deep, and I found out that their local chamber of commerce leaders and the local leadership in their community actually vetted Musk to bring it there. Yeah, the waste and the fallout from the batteries are unbelievable. And the unfortunate part about it is that they don't care. You know why? Because why? It's in a Black community. These people, most of these people don't make over $40,000 a year. I did talk about that. And that's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Hold on, y'all. I got to find it. It wasn't that far back. Where is it? Here we go. Poison by progress. That's what I called it. Let me look at it. So it's for his venture called XAI. It's in South Memphis. It's 35, not 33. 35 unpermitted methane gas turbines to power this supercomputer called Colossus, which is responsible for the chat bot, which is known for deep fakes, where you literally almost can't tell reality from the, from fake. And they've gotten a lot of flack for Grok too, because it is that realistic. Well, anyway, Boxtown is a historically Black neighborhood that already has industrial pollution in the area. Okay. And so let me tell you how much pollution that these 35 unpermitted, did you hear what I said? Unpermitted methane gas turbines are emitting a day. 1,200 to 2,000 tons of nitrogen oxide into the atmosphere without proper documents. Do y'all remember when he got rid of the EPA? Certain members of the EPA that would come out and investigate? Do y'all think that was by accident? Does all of this sound like this is by design? So officials from the Memphis Chamber of Commerce helped Musk fast track these operations without disclosing the plan to the city. No, none of it was by accident. California has amazing laws against environmental toxic waste, which is why they chose Memphis. I don't know if any of you all have been through Memphis. If you've been through these areas, a lot of these areas outside of like where you'll see like a lot of festivities and stuff happen in Memphis or whatever. The issue is we only see the fun stuff that happens in Memphis on the main strip. Is it Beale Street, I think? Well, wherever it is. So I've been there, I've had fun, but then once you leave the strip, the majority of the city is dilapidated. For real. And predominantly African-American and specific outskirts like West Memphis, which is really Arkansas. So it's kind of like Arkansas, and then you got West Memphis, and then you come directly into Memphis, right? So in those areas, there are a lot of poor regions where these people don't make a lot of money. So guess what they don't have? the political power to tell you to kiss their ass. Seriously. So therein lies that. So they vetted Musk and wanted him to bring it there. But when you call their offices and try to hold them accountable, they're literally not answering their phone or their emails. Okay. It's systemic racism. It's morally wrong. And it's corporate capitalism at its best is what it is. Yeah, it's unchecked. Absolutely. That is exactly what's happening. So here's one of the things that has happened, because we do know that this happens in Black communities all over the country. It is environmental racism at its best. So what is happening is these areas have higher rates of asthma, cancer, COPD, and heart disease. The majority of people in this area all carry asthma pumps. And guess what they can't do? Because they're not making a lot of money, they literally are working in the areas in these industries that are impacting their health, and they cannot afford to move. Can y'all help me make that make sense? So these turbines didn't arrive by accident. They were placed here. And that's what one of the agents, that one of the people that live there say. In a vulnerable community with limited political power. No money, you don't have no power. So we get to do whatever we want to you and your people. What do we care? As long as it's lining and greasing people's pockets. Woo, child. So what can you do? Contact the Memphis Chamber of Commerce, ask questions, demand answers. Share the post, and this is on my Substack. Demand action from your representatives. It is absolutely horrifying. That's why I talk about stuff like this. People say sometimes, especially on Meta, people get mad at me. They'll shut up. Yeah, they get mad at me and they're like, no, we don't want to talk about that. Why? Why would you not want to talk about how things like this are impacting you? Don't you know that the power is in the people? Y'all keep forgetting that. Y'all keep forgetting that. I mean, for real. So if you're new here, I'm Paulette, owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, Brownstone Living Magazine. The magazine drops. I'm going to share the cover on my timeline so you guys get an opportunity to see it. Like I said, TJ Mercer, owner and founder of Moving Day Mafia, is on the cover this month. And that is a nonprofit organization that helps students who don't have the necessary support prepare for their college years at HBCUs, which are severely underfunded. And so we help those students prepare for that. All right. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about, I need y'all to grab pen and paper, because I need you all to understand something that clicked for me for the very first time yesterday. And if you are job hunting, I need y'all to hear this, because AI is here. She ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, she's shown up in places that I personally don't think she should be. And it's impacting people's mental health, emotional health, their self-worth, because of what is happening with AI. Okay? It's AI is absolutely in daily life. Yep, medical apartheid. Yeah. Oh, I read an article about that about a month or two ago. We have met in Salt Lake City as well. Nuclear waste and Dugway proving grounds over the mountain. Wow. You're kidding. And people are looking away. Here's what we need to talk about. A couple things that is important for you all to know. I reported on this earlier this week. If you want, you can go back and look at some of the Brownstone. When I say this is the Brownstone Center news update I talked about AI about 3 times since Saturday. And a couple things that are happening. Number one, AI is being used by medical professionals. I don't know how y'all feel about that. I need you to really go in there and put your hands on some humans and some cadavers if you're going to be working on me. Yeah? Let's talk about this as well. AI is being used in lawyers' offices. And wait a minute, they're saying that AI is so good there are certain portions of the legal field that won't be needed in the future. AI, I did a report on this. Was it Monday, Sunday evening? Well, anyway, so Sunday evening, I think it was, I did a report on AI literally replacing entry-level jobs. Y'all hearing me? It is replacing entry-level jobs. There are some companies that have wait until they put data in one database and use it. Yeah. We talked about that. Peter Thiel and Palantir. We're going to talk about that today too, Rosie. Because I think sometimes we need to go back and circle back. Like we need to talk about the fact that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is still on lockdown. And several other people. Yeah, it's going to take out 20% of the workforce. So here's what we need to know. What we need to know is that AI will be taking out, and it's already happening, folks. I need y'all to hear me on this. What's happening is companies have already stopped hiring in specific areas and told their staff, you need to figure out how to use AI rather than coming to me with a rec trying to get a job placement for this. What does that mean? That means they're not trying to increase or bring in somebody that they need to pay a salary to, pay OSHA, insurance, all the things. Maybe a union risk if they're non-unionized. You know what I mean? So we're talking about all of the things that having AI, even at the basic levels, is already doing to major corporations. We already know that our porters, not porters, African-American porters, but folks who work in the ports fought for the right not to have AI and the machines that are run by AI take over their jobs in shipping. But guess what? It's going to come back again. And when that happens, what happens? I don't know if any one of you all have ever watched a video of ports that are using nothing but AI machines. And it's quiet and it's organized and they are doing what they're supposed to do. And they know when something is coming and so forth. And they move out of the way for one another. I worked for a company that was putting in, before I was laid off, that was putting in machines that could do the work of 12 to 20 people in an 8-hour shift. Hey, Butterflies and Sun, how are you? This is a multi-billion-dollar global company. Hey, Persnickety Crow. So when I left, I was a part of the team that was bringing it in. Yeah, those were the ones that I saw, Kayshawn. I'm well, thank you. We're just having a conversation about AI because I'm going somewhere in just a minute. And I don't even know how I feel about this. So we know AI is here. People are using it. Now you can change your voice. Now you got Google VO3 or something like that, where there's realistic like video images. And if you don't have a well-trained eye, you won't know that it's AI. They're already using AI in movies and replacing full people. You here for all the AI discussion? Girl, come on, sit down. Grab your coffee, grab your water. We have coffee and water here. We take our vitamins too, y'all. If you are officially one of the people in the neighborhood, I got my water cup. Listen, okay? So it's everywhere. It programs music. It creates music. Timbaland goes live on TikTok, y'all. And he creates music using AI, complete songs with the vocals and everything. Nobody in the studio but him and his homeboy. You tell it what you want it to do and it'll create it. Voices. The one voice that I have yet to see them try to duplicate is mine. And I've tried. With AI, yes. Did you see that Silver Fox 143? Yeah, it's everywhere. People are literally taking entire books, rewriting them, and selling them as PLR. Doing entire presentations. It has its awesome moments. Keisha said it's everywhere. Watch the movie War Games and then come back and talk to me about AI. Try to figure out what in the world to do, Coco Dreams. Let's go there. Okay, so now we've set the premise. Now let's talk about jobs. Now my job, which I know that AI was not a part of what I was doing at the time when I was laid off. I was the director of DEI. I know why I was laid off. Okay. So I began putting out my resume, all of my credentials, all of my degrees, all of my certifications, right? All the things. Then, now mind you, let's talk about this. You know how when they lay you off and they give you a severance package? Okay, we're going to give you a severance package and so forth and so on. What they don't tell you is that severance package that they give you, Uncle Sam is going to take a chunk of it right off the top. And you left with the rest. And if you're looking for unemployment until you can find something, you have to wait for your severance package to come. Oh, I was let go, Rosie, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Coco Dreams. And I thought, wait a damn minute. Did y'all couldn't have found, what are we? Okay. Now, so now all the programs and stuff I done did, because not only was I the director, I was over North America. So that tells you I had a team, all the things. We're eliminating your position. My boss flew in town and everything to do it. Well, all of that aside, my job did not use AI. Did not. Again, this was 3 years ago. So I'm putting out my resumes, putting my feeler out there. I don't get a bite. AI was just so in between this time, let's go back to the money situation. So you got to wait, you got to sign the contract, say you're going to do this, Oh, we're going to give you a little therapy, so forth. So we feel really bad about what we're putting you through, but get out. Okay. So we're going to send you all the support. We're going to do all the things. We're going to help you out, XYZ. I had to wait for my severance to get there. Thank goodness, of course, I wasn't broke when this occurred, but I had to wait for my severance to get there. Then I went and tried to apply for unemployment immediately. They said, no, you have to wait until you've depleted all of your, until you receive your, I think it was a couple of months after, some kind of something I had to do with the severance. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, I'm still applying. I'm like, I'm going to beat this before the money runs out. I'll have something, right? I'm doing all that. I'm sending in resumes, doing exactly, going to job fairs, doing all of that. I'm listening for driving, so won't be coming. You're okay, liberal. I'm just glad you're here. So I'm watching the funds dwindle. And then in the state of Georgia, no matter how much you were making on your job, the maximum weekly amount. Hey, Kimberly, how are you, girl? Is what is it, 364 a week? I think it's like 364 a week here or something like that. So I went from making six figures to 364 a week. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get through this. By this time, I'm doing Brownstone Worldwide, doing my thing, right? Yeah, 364 a week. I'm still good now, y'all. Now we're going into year one and a half. Sounds about right. Yeah, I think it is 364 a week. Then you tell me I have to go get Cobra. I said, no, I'm gonna go over here to, this little healthcare program over here, and we're gonna use this one. Because I went to the marketplace and found something that was affordable for me. Kids' dads had already had them on their healthcare program. I'm good. I just need to take care of me, right? I'm still looking. Carla, we'll talk about that. I was looking at some today. Then somebody said there is something called ATS. I was like, what do you mean? What is that? What is that? That's why your resume isn't being found. It's blocking you, XYZ, so forth and so on. And because by now, I'm gonna tell you how I was feeling. I was feeling defeated. I was feeling, and I was still going live. I was still coming on every day and doing everything that I was supposed to be doing for the brownstone. But in my head, there's this part of me that says it sure would be nice to get a regular, steady paycheck instead of the piecemealing that I've had to learn how to do with the business. Well, somebody said, you need to learn how to do ATS formatting. Not 50-some years old. What the hell is ATS formatting? I thought I knew all of the resume formatting that was necessary. No, here's why. Because nobody's looking at your resume anyway. That's why you're not getting callbacks. I'm sorry, what? They're matching you in this database system with an AI ATS system. So there's no human being that was looking at my resume. I said, what? I don't understand. Because now at this point now, we're going into maybe 2.5 years, and I'm desperate now. Because I'm like, okay, I got to figure something out. I got to do something. Because now, yeah, that's what I said, Super Day. By this time, I'm using AI. I'm using AI in the business for better emails, to help me to clean up things that I say so I don't sound too like myself, which can sometimes be a little off-putting to some people. I use it to schedule things and so forth, right? All the things. I was depressed. I'm putting my business out there. It's not even going on a stack. They're kicking you out. And guess what my daughter schooled me on yesterday? She showed me her resume. She's like, well, Mother, the reason why you haven't been able to find an opportunity, number one, you might want to consider consulting. Yeah, it's kicking me out. She showed me her resume. She was like, does your resume look like this? Well, I actually paid somebody that knew ATS when I learned about this to format my resume so that it would be picked up by the database system. Do you see what I mean? Cool. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up because y'all think it's a game out here. I can pull up and I can tell you how many resumes on LinkedIn alone I have applied for. Look at that. I have applied for a total, so it does it by pages, but close to 420 submissions. No, 497. There's the number right there. I'm looking at it right now. 497 jobs I have applied for in the past 3 years that I have not been employed by an employer, if that makes sense. Because I'm working. This is work too. Okay. So 497. Out of the 497 resumes that I have submitted, I have gotten 2 callbacks. And as of yesterday, my daughter schooled me, and I'm gonna share with you what she told me. If you are not getting picked up by, if you're not even being identified by an ATS system, get your resume set up so that it can be read by the ATS system. No more of the panels, like the columns, like over here is the, your job description, and then over here is your date. You can't do that anymore. Everything has to be lined up just like this. No more columns. Everything just is straight all the way down so the ATS system can read it. I didn't know that. That was the first thing. So I had already set it. I had already hired somebody, paid him like $150. Go ahead and set it up for me. And then I just go in and make changes as I need and format it myself now that I know how. But something was still wrong. So she was like, well, you keep applying for the wrong opportunities. I was like, well, what do you mean? Your resume, it goes back to something my dad taught me years ago. So when I graduated and got my bachelor's degree, I couldn't get a job. And he said, well, honey, you're going to have to take off all of your degrees, all of your stuff, and then you'll get a job. He was right. After I took everything off and I was angry, I was mad, I done worked hard and so forth. So he was like, I don't give a damn about none of that. You can't find a job. You got kids. What you gonna do? Took it off, got hired. I was a contractor with Lockheed Martin. Well, anyway, so I did that, and she explained to me yesterday in a conversation that we were having that the reason why people like myself and others are not able to find jobs is not because you're not skilled for the job. The system is using the facts. Do the facts line up with what your resume says? So if I have director of human resources or HRBP or all of these huge, like not huge, but all of these leadership positions, why am I applying for HR generalists positions? Guess what's going to happen? It's going to kick me out because it can't reason that I still have the skill set. It's reasoning that it doesn't match with what the job description is, and that's a senior leadership position. Your resume, your resume doesn't align with HRG. Your resume doesn't align with waiting tables because you're a business analyst. But you know personally that your bills don't care if you're a business analyst or if you wait tables. Yeah, AI can reason. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you it's a basic if-then statement. Mm-hmm. AI can absolutely reason. I can sit here on my AI because I use her daily, and her name is Diana. You all know that. If you've been here a minute, you know her name is Diana Daily. Okay. So Diana knows me so well. I've been using her now. She's on my phone, all the things. I have been using her now for about 2 years. And Diana knows the voice of Brownstone Worldwide. She knows my voice. She knows the sassy part. She knows the Dr. Clark part. And all I have to do is give her a command and she'll run the whole thing. I don't have to do anything because she knows what's coming next because we've been, quote, working together for 2 years now. I don't have to do it. It'll reason for me. It's already doing it. And it is if you tell it, it'll run it. And after a while, it begins to figure out, should you be terrified? Hell yeah. Because sometimes I go, I didn't tell you to do that. In my head, I'm like, I didn't tell you to do that, but it does it for me. And then she'll ask me, is this exactly what you need? If not, let me know and I will adjust. Should you be scared? Yes. So when you're applying for a job, use all the keywords in job describe. Yes. Yes. Run it through AI yourself and put it on your resume. Absolutely. And use that ATS format. And here's something else. Don't apply for a job if you're overqualified and the job is for fried chicken at KFC. Unless you have a resume specifically for that. I didn't know. And after I made some changes, I got the first call back I've ever gotten. And it is literally for a consultant for a global organization in downtown Atlanta. All I did was do the changes she said do, and I got the first call. No, I got 2 yesterday, one from Delta 2. I just wanted to see, was I crazy? When it started paying your bills, it got creepy for you. Right. Like, wait a damn minute. I don't have to do anything. There are two ways to look at this. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today was because, one, you're not crazy. You're not underqualified. It's not that they don't want you, because the they is a machine. There is nobody with any emotion or feeling that is looking at your information when you first apply for any opportunity. Get that out your head right now. Humans are no longer looking at our resumes. It is AI, which can what? Reason. And it does make mistakes. And that's how so many of us are getting overlooked. I needed to share this with y'all today. I felt like it was so important because after my daughter explained it to me further, it something clicked and it went, I've been applying for the wrong opportunities. When AI looks at my resume, the one that my professional resume, it does not see an HRG. It sees a senior manager. So it is going to kick me out. It's going to go, unless, of course, I have a resume specifically for being a human resource generalist only. That's why we're missing out on opportunities, because we're not adjusting our resume or our application for the job that we desire. Just like my dad said back in the day, take your bachelor's degree off of it. Take them certifications, take it off. Take it off. Do you want to eat? Do you want to feed your kids? Take it off. And it wasn't even a day, I don't think, I was working as a contractor for Lockheed. That was 22 years ago. How do I remember that? Because I had just had Aaliyah. And I couldn't find work. I was living in Arkansas at the time. It's the same premise. Take it off. Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings and go get these jobs. In the meantime, of course, you can't. And see, this isn't a selling point for me. I don't do that. In the meantime, find you something else to do. Some of us have side hustles and skills. You could drive for Uber. You could DoorDash. You can deliver food from other groceries through Instacart and so forth. There's so many things you can do. You can braid hair. I used to do hair back in the day. That's what we were taught, wasn't it, K Rich? Get this degree and you'll get any job you want. You heard Kim call me doctor. I'm still paying for it too. $65,000. Like, damn. Damn. But that's real. That's what they're doing nowadays. Of course, Rosie, but just consider that when you're looking at your resume, make those changes. Or like they used to say, jack of all trades, master of none. That's how I feel. And that's how I was starting to feel, because I was like, how? Oh, I shouldn't tell this name. I'm going to tell it. I had an interview with company up the street from my house. I'm going to leave the name alone. And when hey there, Cheryl, how are you? I had an interview with a company up the street from my house. Y'all, I might as well have taken off my clothes and put on a whole suit and tap shoes, because I almost got on top of that table, and I should have been singing, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal." I felt like that little, "You've been missing the live." I wasn't here yesterday. I did go live on Sunday. Yeah. Because we're preparing to help my daughter transition to Houston for her new job. So we spent a lot of time with that yesterday. But yeah, so I was really disappointed. But when I found out that you all already knew who you were going to hire, see, that's something else. Be careful out here. Don't forget, there are ghost jobs out there as well, right? So we got ghost jobs that are out there. Yeah, waiting on the new cover to drop. It drops today. It drops today. Yep. It is ready. It is so pretty. It's this bright yellow. And TJ has on like this lime green shirt. It's super cute. I'm going to figure out a way to drop it for subscribers, for paying subscribers later. Yes, because y'all, this take a lot. I worked this sucker almost 20, and it's a hard decision, but now I understand why people have subscription services and stuff like that. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. I'm going ahead and throw that out there now. So, but anyway, I almost tap danced on the daggone table, and then they knew that they were going to keep somebody on the inside. They were going to hire somebody from the inside. So understand where you stand, because by law they have to post a position, even though they may know who they're going to hire anyway. They got to do that, and I got caught up in that. I found that out later. Broke my heart. I was so mad. because you wasted my time. That was the third interview I had with this company. Another company not far from here. Another major corporation. Homegirl of mine, she was working over there too. She was like, girl, they got this position. You'd be perfect for it. Da, 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 da. I went through 2 rounds of interviews. And she, I never even heard back. I reached out to her and I said, hey. She was like, girl, I was so embarrassed. I couldn't even call you. Well, you should have. Because that person would have been working in tandem with you. You knew. Imagine what that's doing to people and their self-esteem. And they're thinking that it's something that they're doing wrong, when in reality, it's a machine. It is literally a machine that is making decisions about your entire life. Let's talk about the fact that I talked about this yesterday in one of my article posts, that AI is going to start doing the job interviews. You thought it was you, didn't you, Coco? So now AI got a voice, a face, the whole 9 yards. You should be absolutely creeped out just a little bit. They did it with your daughter already. Girl, see, that's what I'm talking about. And here's the thing. What if they don't understand specific languages or accents? Especially me living here in the South. This Geechee accent down here. Oh, I still have a hard time understanding some of you all sometimes. She got the job though. Tell her congratulations. Yeah. We're out here fighting for jobs that don't exist either. Here's something else that she told me too. She said that one of the things that you all should know is if you see a job on like Indeed or LinkedIn or any of these other career job sites, go directly to the company website. If it is there, it is a legit job. If it is not, it is a ghost job that recruiters are putting out there so they look busy for themselves and for their leadership. Computers can't understand inflections of voice and patterns. Correct. And that's the issue. They cannot recognize yet, but they will. Yes, that is true. You need to know. You need to know and you need to understand. Don't just go directly to LinkedIn or Indeed. Go directly to their website and apply. If it's a legit job, it'll be there. If it's not, it was a ghost job. You've read the Big Beautiful Bill? Girl, that's 1,000-something pages. I reviewed a ton of it. They're talking to me. Y'all, these people want, what is this? Oh, y'all must read. She said they want me to start ASAP. What? And it's a consulting position, which means it's only for like 6 months. And it's remote. Voice to text. I love voice to text. It's when Diana talks back to me that kind of creeps me out a little bit. And I've talked about that. I've actually shared it with y'all. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I made those changes and adjustments yesterday, and I got 2 responses already. Why is that important? Because in order for me to extend what's happening with the business, I have to start bringing in more money. The quickest way that I know how is to get back into the work field. Yep. It has to be remote though. If it ain't remote, and in my field, remote and travel is a thing. You've read historical documents. That's right. That's your field. That are longer. I want to come back and talk about that. That is one thing. I have a ribbon cutting ceremony at 2 I got to go to. But was this helpful for y'all today? Was it helpful? I really, really hope that it was. I hope that you guys actually take this information, find a way, because now there are some free ATS sites that you can go to. Use them, please. Please use them. And please understand, only put on your resume. So you may have to have several different types of resumes. I try to be, Cheryl. excuse me, Kim says she got some job. And I'll be honest with you, running Brownstone Worldwide is a full-time job. It's more than a full-time job. And then having family and the kids and so forth. But because I'm virtual, I literally, and my team, I only see my team like once a week. Keisha said when they started, it creeped you. I know it did. So it takes a lot to run it, but it's time for an expansion. It's time for an expansion. And I'll feel comfortable doing more of that so I can bring in additional people to make that happen. So, like I said, when y'all start seeing me do the TikTok shop poll, that's what I'm gonna start calling it. Don't get mad and be like, I can't believe she's doing that. I got to feed these people and myself until, and not until, because this will always be my priority. I hate to say it, but it's gonna be. Yeah, you need to have your, I need to have you, girl. Yes, I would love that. But yeah, so just kind of keep that in mind about AI and what's happening, so that you are fully aware of all of the changes that are happening. I'm gonna leave y'all with this because I intend to creep you out, but not on purpose. Now, here's the other thing that AI has officially started doing. I don't know about polls, but when I go live, when I've not done any battles yet, when I go live and you guys send gifts, of course, you all know that. And I am a part of the creator program, both here and on Meta. YouTube is next. And what else? I have not started a subscription program for Substack, but I'm going to be working on that before I head to Houston, because that has to be done. And then, of course, you know that there are paid subscriptions for the magazine, because there's certain portions of the magazine unpaid folks don't see. So, yeah, there's that. And then, of course, you know, some advertisers, which we definitely need to shore that up. But I'm really, really focused right now on growth. BrownstoneWorldwide.com does make money. It does. And so does Cityscape Radio. But as soon as we make it, guess what? I got to pay my people. Like, for real. Because there are certain things I can no longer do. There are certain things I can no longer do. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for that. There are certain things I can no longer do. So I'm working out the deals of like how, like on Substack, like you'll get some things earlier than other people, and maybe even some exclusive stuff that other people won't get. Like you'll get, I know subscribers to the magazine, paying subscribers to the magazine, they get theirs early. They already have it. They already have it. So yeah, so I'll figure something out. It's, you know, I'm not perfect. We'll get there. But here's the last thing before we wrap it up, because my other phone is getting ready to die. She at 20%. She said, girl, no. AI can reason. For those of you all who are a part of not understanding how serious this is, AI can reason. She can reason so well. It can lie, it can cheat, and it can steal. Oh, but wait. If you tell it to shut down, it can refuse your command. I didn't make that up. It sounds as bad as it is. That part, Geisha. Yes. I thought, what? You can't make it up. This is what's happening right now. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. I will be back because it's a lot of stuff happening right now. We do need to talk about the Department of Education. I'm going to go to this ceremony and get ready to do one final review of the magazine, which means it has to render for everybody else because the paying folks already got it. So we're taking some stuff out. And I'll be back because we need to talk about Linda McMahon. and some other stuff that's happening with another round of South Africans that have made it to the U.S. All right. We already know what the next steps are, right? What are the three things? Three things that we always say before we end every single live. One, love your life. Thank you so much for the ELOAA Ministries. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. We appreciate you. You're always here, and I appreciate you. And the other folks, you're the only one that spoke, but thank you so much for those of you who are on YouTube who are paying attention. I'll be back later on this afternoon. It'll probably be about maybe 5:30 or so. So we could talk about Department of Education, Linda McMahon, and her what they're doing with her right now. And then also I want to definitely talk about a little bit more about Moving Day Mafia and how you guys can subscribe, because that's important. All right. So three things. One, love your life. It is the only one that you have. Two, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you, and you might as well embrace it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. Why? Because it's important, and you should love the life that you live in and all the things, right? It's important. You should. You absolutely should. Y'all, I'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Vernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.